Yo, what's up, peoples? This your man AGgotBeats back again with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna show y'all a quick run through on how to sample like a pro inside a Maschine. All right, and this works for Maschine Plus as well as Mk3, and if you're using the software. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm gonna go in and try to find a sample, just some random sample. All right, so we already in Group B. I'm gonna hit browser, and I noticed since I had the Maschine Plus, I've been using more of the Native Instruments expansions, and before then I never really did. But being that you're detached from the computer and you can just download the expansion packs into Maschine Plus, I found it easy just to come up with ideas. So we're gonna stick with that format. Right now I'm gonna use faded reels, and we're just gonna find a random sample. I'm looking for something with no drums. Want something a little more soulful. I'm just gonna choose this one. All right, so we got it loaded up. Let's come on out of browser. All right, so the first thing that goes on is because it was a loop, it's already in loop mode. All right, so we got to come out of audio mode to get it out of there. We're gonna click this button, and then we're gonna take it from audio, which it was, we're gonna take it to sample. All right, so load that. Okay, so what that did was allowed it to come out of loop mode, and now we can chop it up like a sample. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into sampling. All right, and when you first come into sampling mode, we in slice. It might come into record, so you want to make sure you click the slice mode. All right, so now we in slice mode. The first thing that you're gonna see is manual. All right, so the next thing you want to do is scroll over to apply. What these options are, mono is when you have the pad cut itself off. So you want to make sure that mono is on if you want that MPC type slicing. And then also in pattern, if you slice it, when you go to apply, most of the time it's going to be on create a pattern, and what that's going to do is create its own pattern for you, and you don't want that, so you want to select none. So now once that's selected, we can scroll back over to manual. We're going to slice up the sample by hitting the pads. And the cool thing about manual is that you can do it on beat, you can do it off beat, you can choose your notes, you can do anything you want to do with it. To start off, we're going to just do it on beat. All right, so we're going to do quarter notes. All right, so it's sliced up. That's what manual mode does. All right, so. All right, once you got everything sliced up, if you can edit each individual slice by scrolling over. So now let's say that's the first slice. We can adjust the start, adjust the end. You know, so it's a lot of stuff that you can do with that. All right, so we got that done. All right, let's scroll back over. The next mode would be grid. All right, so now that we got grid selected, this allows you to choose by notes. So what that means, like by quarter notes, by 16th notes, by 32 or 32nd notes, 64s, like you have those options. The higher the notes that you select, the more slices you're gonna have. Now, if we went to 8th notes, it'll be more slices. You have to do it faster. All right, so that's kind of how that works. And again, you can go up to 16th notes or 32nd notes. All right, so we got the grid out the way. All right, the next one is going to be split. And what split does is allows you to choose equal slices in your sample. So right now, probably would start off at 4. You know, so we have 4 slices. If you can look at the screen right here, you see the sample. Each slice is going to be the same length. right, so that's 4 slices. Again, you can go up to 8, 16, or 32. And grid and split can kind of be similar if you're using like an even bar loop. So if you got like a 4 bar, 8 bar, something like that, you can kind of interchange grid and split mode. Like they're very similar. All right, so the next thing you want to do is check out detect. That's the next mode. And what detect is good for is detecting the transients. It works really well like if you have like drum loops or something like that. So I'm gonna look for a drum loop. All right, let's just load that one up. All right, come out of browser. We're gonna go into sampling, and now we're gonna find detect. All right, and then you can adjust detect by your sensitivity, and that's just gonna find like the ones that have a real loud transient, and then the higher you go in your sensitivity, it's gonna start finding the ones with low transients. So let's go ahead and slice it up like that. So that's how you would use detect mode. All right, so now that we got all of that out the way, now the last way that I like to do it by chopping the samples from duplicating it. And what that allows me to do is have way more freedom over the sample and how I want to chop it. So here's an example. Let's unmute that. And what I did was, it works well for me when I have like a drum loop already started off. So I like to chop my samples according to a drum pattern that I have. And this is the drum pattern that I had already. I programmed this drum pattern, so check it out. All right, so that's the drum pattern right there. And let's go back to the sample now that we have the drums playing, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, we're gonna come out of sampling mode, and now we have that sample right here on this one pad. Okay, and for this technique, now you would like to set the polyphony to 1 because you want the sample to chop itself off. The next thing you want to do is to go into pad mode and set your choke group to 1. That way, every time you duplicate the pad, whatever is in this group is going to cut itself off, and it's going to cut the other pad off. All right, so we're going to come out of that. Now, from here, we want to hit duplicate and just pin it. Right, so it's pinned. Now we just want to hit this pad and just duplicate it all across the 16 pads. All right, once we have that done, we come out of duplicate. So now we have the same identical sample on all 16 pads. We're going to go into sampling, and then this way, so we were in slice before. Let's come out of slice. That's where we had all the options right here for slice mode. Now what we want to do is we want to go into edit. All right, so now we're in edit mode. You can see all the samples are the same. All right, so this is how I like to do it. This is, you know, my little secret sauce or whatever. All right, so I like to play the drum beat and then chop to according to the drum beat. All right, so what we're gonna do is hit a pad. We're gonna adjust the start point, and then we're just gonna keep on doing it for every pad until we find the sample chops that we want. All right, so let's go ahead and play the drum beat. pretty much that's it, man. You can kind of go through and flip the samples however you want to do it, but that's just a quick little tip, you know, that can help you get like some real random chops that that's not gonna sound the same as everybody else would chop up, you know, the same sample. So hopefully this helped you. Use these tips to make some fire beats. If you feel like you want to support the channel, I'll leave a link in the description to this actual sample pack right here, and if you purchase the kit, I'll get a little change from that. So until the next video, I'll holler at you guys. I appreciate you for all the love that you've been showing, and peace.